Hi, this is our signature assignment, our team PowerPoint, and we're going to be talking about how and why does art education impact learning and instruction in a K through 12 classroom setting. I'm Erin Pereira, and this is my partner,
Gia Scobie. I'm going to go in with our thesis statement. I'm just going to read it for you off of the slide, and it says, our education is a pertinent part of a well-rounded education. However, it is also in need of strong reform if we are going to help it survive in modern society. It is the job of future educators to ensure our education doesn't disappear from academics so that our future generations are not raised with a disadvantage. Even if our education is in need of reform, it is inextensible to the public and will remain as long as advocates exist. In this PowerPoint, we're going to be highlighting, of course, the need of our education and how not having it in society will provide a real lack to character for our future generations. What our education looks like. Our education is about teaching the fine arts. The fine arts are drawing, painting, sculpting, photography, music, dance, as well as art history. And there is a very definitive process that we use when we approach fine art education. We lecture about the history or what we're going to be doing. We practice by imitating the works of the classics, such as the one with the messed up faces, Picasso or Van Gogh. And we present our work to the public. And if we want to, after that presentation, we can keep it. But none of this process is actually instilling with students the things that they can take away from our education and what it can offer. And now I'm going to talk about what we would like our education to look like. There are two distinct parts of reformation to our education that me and Erin would like to see. One of them revolves around creative core, and the other one revolves around technology integration. We are now entering the 21st, well, we're well into the 21st century, and technology is a big part of it. Everyone has smartphones, everyone has access to information on the fly. And because of that, once our students get out of their pre-adolescent stages, they are no longer interested in the typical drawing a bowl of fruit or just imitating the work of someone who lived before computers were even imagined. Mm-hmm. They want to do things that really give them purpose and make them feel connected to society. And to highlight that, I want to read the quote for technology integration. Don't make black and white films about leaves reflected in puddles. Make a video to promote adoption at the local animal shelter. Don't do laborious charcoal drawings of pop stars. Generate new ideas on paper. Fill 100 sticky notes with 100 doodles of ways to raise consciousness about the environment or income inequality or water conservation. Stop making pinch pots. Instead, build a 3D printer and turn out artificial hands for homeless amputees. These are ways we can use art integration, technology integration, and all of the skills art has to offer to promote growth in society and to create more well-rounded individuals, which is what all educators strive to do.
All right, let's talk about what art integration is. So according to the Institute for Art Integration is an approach to teaching and learning through which content standards are taught and assessed equitably in and through the arts. So I put a little picture here that you can see, and it talks about the process. So the step one would be to pick a topic and an idea, what you want to teach. 2 would be to collaborate with other art educators to align natural standards. 3 would be to teach the lesson, ensuring that there is integrity to both subjects. So your lesson subject matter, as well as the art standards that you're aligning it with. And then 4 would be to assess student work in both content areas. And then down below that, there's some benefits to arts integration. And I really like this because it shows you a multitude of what art integration really brings to the table. So there's the student buy-in, critical thinking skills, equity, connective learning, and empowerment. Next slide, please. And then here is how to integrate art into your classroom. In an arts integration lesson, the ending assessment reflects the growth in both the content area and the arts area that was taught. You're looking for growth in that area, not mastery. Only art teachers can evaluate an art standard for mastery, just as only the classroom teacher can, or the content teacher can evaluate a content standard for mastery. But anyone can measure growth in both areas. So I think that's very important because a lot of us who are not artists or who are not going to be art teachers specifically are kind of nervous when it comes to teaching art. And we need to just set that aside because we're not teaching art for the mastery of it. We're just integrating it with our lessons to help our students connect and to help them grow. And of course, as a teacher, you can assess growth in a multitude of different areas, even in art. So we need to build our confidence and be confident enough that we can integrate art with our lessons. And then our picture here, oh, can you go back real quick? I'm almost done with that one. So our picture here is just some quick ideas on how you can integrate the arts. So you can analyze artwork, you can story through dance, experiment with sound, reflective journaling, and dramatic play. So I have a little quote down here. It's a little bit blurry, but I'm going to read it for you. And it's from a 4th grade student. And it says, I liked the math lesson best because it wasn't the regular old boring math class. We got to get up and move. And that was cool. And now I know exactly what parallel line is. So to hear a 4th grade student reflect and really make a connection with having an integrated art lesson to math was just really cool for me to actually see that this is working and this is what we need to be doing. We need to get students excited and looking forward to lessons. Now I'm ready for the next one. Thank you. Okay, oftentimes when we're talking about arts in education, you often hear of budget cuts and defunding arts, and that actually it doesn't have to be the case. If you're willing to put the work in there and get funding for the arts, the funding is out there. So some types of financial support for art education are federal funding for art education, such as Performing Arts Alliance. And the Department of Arts Education program has actually received consistent annual support from Congress. In 2016, Congress approved $27 million for the Arts and Education program, making it possible for a new round of competitive grants. So if you're interested in funding your classroom's arts with grants, you can apply for grants and you can get the funding. It's out there. So there's also arts funding for students in need, such as Support the Arts. So this is a program that partners with teacher to donor contact. So if you're a teacher, you write a little statement of what your classroom needs are. So say it's something as simple as your classroom needs paint. So you would write your grade level, you would write the amount of supplies that you need, and then this website partners you with donors where they can actually, financially support you, or they can come and they can drop off the supplies. So again, if you're looking for the support, it's out there. And then there's also scholarship grants to help students pay for school, to help pay for arts. There's private supporters, there's fundraising. Again, if you're willing to put the effort in to make the financial commitment, not with your own money, but to do the research and do the legwork, you can definitely get your arts integration covered.
This next slide explains the benefits of art education. There are 5 distinct lessons art education has to offer each student: creativity, collaboration, confidence, cultural awareness and empathy, as well as critical thinking. All 5 of these skills are very important for people as they grow, as they enter workplaces, as they enter higher places of learning, as well as they try to take on small accomplishments in everyday life. The other part of this slide explains exactly how our education offers these lessons to students. Creativity, or what, not how it offers them, but what exactly these lessons give the students. Creativity teaches students different ways to approach issues. Collaboration is an ability to work with others, and it is needed in most workplaces. Confidence comes from practicing speaking in groups. Cultural awareness comes from exposure to different art forms. And critical thinking equips children with the ability to become divergent thinkers and better problem solvers. In conclusion, our education is in need of strict reform if it is going to outlive the ever-changing technological era we are living in. However, if we have teachers who are willing to advocate for the arts, this indispensable portion of education can evolve and live forever.
And here's our reference page. If you guys want to check out where we got any of our information from, there's all the links. And we just want to say thank you for watching our presentation.